Hello everyone. In last video you must have learned about viscosity and the velocity gradient. Now in this video we are going to deal with the formula for viscous force, coefficient of viscosity using Newton's formula for viscous force. Few things which are important here. The first thing, that this formula is strictly used only for streamline flow. So let's start with Newton's formula. Suppose there is a streamline flow. Suppose there is a streamline flow, and we will consider some parameters of that streamline flow. Let A be the area of that flow. So if suppose I said that it is flowing through wide container, then the area of that container is A. Let dV by dx is the velocity gradient of this given liquid or flow. Then according to Newton's formula, or according to Newton, the viscous force acting on the different layers of this liquid depends upon two factors, is proportional to. Viscous force is proportional to. The first is area of that flow, say A, and the second factor is the velocity gradient of that liquid. So if dV by dx is velocity gradient of that liquid, then viscous force F is directly proportional to area, and the same viscous force F is directly proportional to velocity gradient dV upon dx. Therefore viscous force F is equals to eta times A into, therefore viscous force is directly proportional to A into dV by dx. Therefore F is equals to eta times A into dV by dx. Here eta is constant of that proportionality. Here this eta is called as coefficient of viscosity, and from this equation number 3 you will obtain the formula for eta is equals to F upon A into dV by dx. So just go through the formula for viscosity, coefficient of viscosity. It is viscous force acting per unit area per unit velocity gradient. So definition is also the same. It is the ratio of, or directly I can say, instead of ratio I can say viscous force acting per unit surface area of that liquid, per unit surface area per unit velocity gradient. Okay, so using this formula we can also find out the SI unit. SI unit will be force, therefore SI unit is Newton. Area, that is meter square, and you know velocity gradient meter per second upon meter, so it is 1 upon second. So altogether I can write it is Newton second per meter square. SI unit is Newton second per meter square, and I can use the dimensions also to describe these dimensions of eta are force, that is m1 L1 T minus 2, again second, that is T1 divided by m2, that is time 2, length twice. So altogether we can get m1 L minus 1 T minus 1. So what we have learned in short, I will just revised. We have started with viscous force and coefficient of viscosity. First thing, it is strictly valid for only streamline flow. We have considered that there is a liquid which is in the form of streamline flow. There is a streamline flow of any liquid or fluid, and A is area of that flow, dV by dx, that is velocity gradient of that flow. Then according to Newton, viscous force is directly proportional to area of that flow and it is directly proportional to velocity gradient. So combining both, I will get force is directly proportional to A into dV by dx. Therefore force is equals to eta into A into dV by dx. Here eta is obviously the constant of proportionality and it is here called as coefficient of viscosity. From this equation number 3, I can get formula for eta is F upon A into dV by dx. If I want to define eta, then this nothing but the definition is viscous force acting per unit area per unit velocity gradient is called coefficient of viscosity. SI unit is Newton second per meter square. You have to find out CGS unit. One more CGS unit is there, poise. Actually it is, we have to find out 1 poise equal to how many Newton second per meter square. Use dimensions, you can easily find out it. Dimensions are m1, L minus 1, T minus 1. Thank you. It is physicist of Greek, I think so, and he gives important law related to the spherical object falling in a viscous fluid. Now why here or where we can learn this? Imagine raindrops, as every drop occupies a spherical shape. When it is falling into the dense air, then it is acted upon by the force, and because of that force only it becomes spherical. So what forces are acting? That forces depends upon how many factors were given by Sir Ben Stokes, not actually Ben Stokes again, he is only Stokes. So this again important thing, it is also valid for streamline flow. Then again it is valid only for spherical body falling freely into the viscous and streamline flow. So again the same thing, when we will go with the article complete, we will say that consider a spherical body, sphere of say radius r is falling freely in a viscous fluid. So let define some characteristics or parameters. Let F be the viscous force acting on that sphere. Let eta be the coefficient of viscosity of that liquid or fluid. Let V be the velocity by which that object is falling, velocity of that sphere or object. Then as already defined, r is the radius of that object. Then according to Stokes, the viscous force F is proportional to, viscous force F is proportional to, again first factor is definitely the radius. More is the radius, more will be the force. As radius is more, area of cross section will be definitely increased. It will get more opposition from the surrounding and therefore it will increase. Then second factor is velocity, velocity of that object V. And the third factor is very important, that is nothing but coefficient of viscosity of that liquid. So more is the viscous fluid, more is the opposition or more is the force acting on that object. So if I combine all these things together, then viscous force F is directly proportional to radius, velocity and eta. So it is directly proportional to r, v and eta. So according to Stokes, if K is the constant of proportionality, here K is constant of proportionality, and after some calculations he find the value is 6 pi. So if I replace this in equation number 1, then I can get a force is equals to 6 pi r v eta. So this is the formula for finding viscous force acting on a spherical body which is only falling in a streamline flow or viscous fluid. In that case we have to go with this formula. Now why this formula is correct, let's check also. So using dimensions I can check the correctness of this equation. Using dimensions, I will write dimensions on both sides of the equation. Here K is constant, so no need to write the dimensions. So using dimensions, consider LHS, that is force. LHS is having quantity force. So dimension of force is M1 L1 T minus 2. Now RHS are having several quantities except 6 pi. We will write R, V and eta. R means radius, that is L1. Velocity is L1 T minus 1 and coefficient of viscosity M1 L minus 1 T minus 1. So L1 L2 and L minus 1 becomes again L1. M1 is only time, single time present there, and T minus 1 becomes what? T minus 2. So if I write again in a proper manner, I can get here is what? M1 L1 T minus 2. So check out LHS and RHS, both are same. So RHS is equals to LHS. So this formula is also dimensionally correct. Now few important facts about coefficient of viscosity. Coefficient of viscosity depends on temperature, depends upon temperature of that fluid. Now first thing, for liquids eta decreases with increase in a temperature. Eta decreases with increase in a temperature. And second, for gases eta increases with increase in a temperature. So what we have learned in this article, in short again we will revise Stokes law. Again I am repeating, it is not Ben Stokes from England, he is Stokes physicist. He said for streamline flow and spherical body the viscous force is depends upon some important factor. So what are that factor? If F is the viscous force, eta is the coefficient of viscosity of that fluid, V is the velocity of that sphere which is falling in that liquid or fluid, R is radius of that object, it is strictly valid for spherical body, then viscous force acting on that spherical body is proportional to, first is radius, second is velocity, third is coefficient of viscosity. After combining these three, I will get force is directly proportional to R V eta. Force is equals to K into R V eta. Let this equation number 1. Here K is definitely a constant of proportionality. After certain calculations, Stokes decided that the value of K should be 6 pi. Then formula is again rearranged as F is equals to 6 pi R V into eta. Now why Stokes is correct? We have one more option to cross check him, that is nothing but dimensional analysis. So using dimensional analysis we just cross check whether the formula given by Stokes is correct or not. So we have considered LHS of the equation is force, dimensions of that force are M1 L1 T minus 2. Now we have taken RHS, here K is constant, so it will be not having any dimension. So RHS equals to R into V into eta. On substituting their dimensions, you are again getting here M1 L1 T minus 2. So So you can get RHS equals to LHS, which signifies that the formula given by Stokes for spherical body falling inside viscous fluid, that is viscous force for spherical bodies, is correct as F equal to 6 pi r v eta. Okay. Now some important facts related to coefficient of viscosity that we have defined here. The coefficient of viscosity depends upon temperature. For liquids, eta decreases with increase in a temperature, whereas for gases eta increases with increase in a temperature. So both the fluids do not behave same.